I depart for Canada today with the First Lady and members of the Cabinet for an official visit upon the invitation of Prime Minister Mark Carney of Canada, the very first visit undertaken by a Philippine president in a decade. Established in 1949, our ties with Canada have now spanned 77 years and continues to grow from strength to strength. We have deepened engagement across a broad range of priority areas, including economic cooperation, defense and security, agriculture, and people-to-people ties. At the onset of my administration, we intensified our campaign for diversification of partnerships, strengthening existing ones and building new strategic ones. With Canada, we have seen an unprecedented momentum in the deepening of bilateral relations. It may not be known to many, but Canada has been consistent and steadfast in its statements of support for the Philippines' assertion of its sovereignty and sovereign rights, especially in the midst of the ongoing issues we are facing now in the West Philippine Sea. Canada's consistent support, both bilaterally and multilaterally, reflects our shared interest in upholding a rules-based international order, including the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS, and the 2016 Arbitral Award. It is thus imperative that we further strengthen this connection with our long-standing friend and partner as we navigate the shared challenges that we face as Pacific nations. We have launched the negotiations for Philippines-Canada Free Trade Agreement alongside our negotiations for the ASEAN-Canada Free Trade Agreement. And the free trade agreement between the Philippines and Canada is very much in the works right now. Our mangoes have very recently entered the market of Canada. In 2024, we signed a Memorandum of Understanding on Defense Cooperation, followed by the Status of Visiting Forces Agreement in 2025. Early this year, we held our inaugural Maritime Dialogue. Our people-to-people ties were further strengthened by the launch of a non-stop Air Canada route between Vancouver and Manila last year. This development complements Philippine Airlines flight connecting Manila with Toronto and Vancouver, as well as more than 200 agreements between the educational institutions and government agencies of our two countries. My visit will build on this very positive trajectory as we pursue new collaborations in niche areas, such as in mining, critical minerals, and renewable energy. We are also undertaking arrangements that would harness the strength of our diaspora as the anchor of our bilateral relations, such as in culture, the arts, and tourism. I will have a one-on-one meeting with Prime Minister Carney, followed by an expanded meeting with our selective delegations to specifically pursue these collaborations as both sides look to elevate Philippine-Canada relations. I expect the discussions to lay the broad strokes of a plan of action, which I will ask the Secretary of Foreign Affairs to craft with her counterpart. This plan of action will shape the next phase of our bilateral relations and ensure the sustained and dynamic growth of our partnership in the years to come. While we have renewed our focus towards the bilateral relationship, Philippine-Canada relations cannot grow in a vacuum. Recent developments have shown that despite the more than 10,000 kilometers of distance that separates our two countries, our regions are interconnected. I intend to work with Prime Minister Carney in adapting to shifting global realities, addressing a shared challenge, and building capacities for a future partnership. I will speak with Prime Minister Carney about our shared view of the importance of the Indo-Pacific, the ASEAN, and of multilateral cooperation. I view Canada's increasing role in the Indo-Pacific as a positive force for peace, stability, and prosperity in the region. I will also invite Canada to play a more proactive role while the region addresses the impact of the situation in the Middle East. I will talk about the Philippines' goals as this year's ASEAN chair on ensuring energy and food security, strengthening maritime cooperation, and promoting the safety of ASEAN nationals. I will convey the Philippines' keen interest in continuing its regional work with Canada through the ASEAN-Canada dialogue and other ASEAN mechanisms. A key focus is the deepening of trade and investment relations, with the goal of increasing our two-way trade and bringing the Philippines within the investment radar of Canada's economic players, the mining sector, nuclear energy, IT/BPM, telecommunications, cyber technology, financial services, amongst others. I intend to hold one-on-one business meetings and participate in roundtable discussions with private sector leaders for this purpose. While in British Columbia, I will meet with the Filipino community in Canada who have become our country's ambassadors. Mayroon pong humigit kumulang na 1,000,000 Pilipino na nasa Canada na ngayon. They are well respected and sought after for their skills, professionalism, and dedication. Dito sa Pilipinas, patuloy silang nakikilahok sa pagpapaunlad ng ating ekonomiya at pagpapatatag ng ating demokrasya sa kabila ng ilang taong pagkakawalay sa bayan. I certainly look forward to reconnecting with all of them. Malayo ang biyahe at ang oras ay laging kulang. Ang mahalaga ay ating maipaabot sa ang ating mga prioridad ng ating pamahalaan at na hindi masayang ang pagkakataon na palawigin ang pagkakaibigan para sa mas masiglang komersyo, kooperasyon at pagtulungan. Maraming salamat sa inyo. Magandang gabi sa inyo lahat.